So we got some awesome news for you guys, including a new MMO based on African culture and mythos, one of the worst kept secrets from Mass Effect, and preparations for the pre-patch for Shadowlands.
Happy. I'm happy. Japanese people. Overseas. No, Rumour! Meatball. Amazing! Amazing meatball!
Hello everyone, my name is Solomon SK for Coffee and RPGs, where we cover the latest news, trends, and updates for the MMO and RPG gaming genre. Really quick to kind of give you what's going on behind the scenes, I've actually pretty much hit one of the milestones to get partnered with YouTube, and that is getting 40,000 watch time hours with them, but unfortunately I am severely lacking with the other criteria, and that's getting 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, I really hope that I could earn your subscription in today's episode. It's been a really long dream of mine to be able to continue to do what I love with you guys as I grow this channel as well. Anyways, everyone, if you guys got your coffee ready or beverage of choice, of course, let's go over these news articles together. Cheers to you guys. So I know you guys already heard the big news, the big buyout from Microsoft of ZeniMax, but I wanted to cover it here just really quick and kind of go over a few things you may or may not have known about, especially when it comes to RPGs and MMOs. And the first article that we have here is from LOTRO, and it says Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, and future Bethesda games will be on Game Pass Day 1. Now, I know what most of you are thinking, yeah, Microsoft, evil corporation, greed, and you know, to a certain extent, I agree. But one thing that people seem to universally love is the Microsoft Game Pass. As it says right here in this GamesRadar.com article, Xbox Game Pass subscriber count now tops 15 million and it's growing fast. And in my opinion, it's simply because a lot of players out there are simply getting a lot of value for the money that they actually shell out. So instead of having to pay for each individual game, especially with new games now that we may be seeing a $70 price hike on them, you just pay a $10 or $15 monthly fee to gain access to all these games where you would again have to pay individually otherwise. So other than what I just covered, we actually don't know too much what's going on, at least when it pertains to the RPGs that we love, but we do have another article here from Game Rant, and this really excites me if it falls through.
I see what you did there.
But it does say that Obsidian shows interest in potential Fallout New Vegas 2 game. If you didn't know already, Obsidian was already owned by Microsoft, but now that they own Bethesda, and Bethesda, or at least ZeniMax, owns the IP to the Fallout franchise, we could potentially see New Vegas 2
Happy. I'm happy.
in Obsidian's official Twitter handle. They were replying to somebody says, you know, just kind of throwing it out there, you know, is New Vegas 2 legitimate a possibility now? And they just kind of do the, you know, happy face shrug little emoji or whatever you want to call that. I think it would be really cool if they made the game such that it would start out based upon your decisions on how the first Fallout New Vegas game ended. But to be honest, I'm actually not sure how they would pull that off, because the ending for the original New Vegas game, I mean, the endings were just so vastly different from one another. Like, how would you make it such that it would, like, you would probably need to make a game for each individual ending, it feels like, just because, again, they're just so wildly different from one another. Anyways, finally getting to the news stories of the day. The first one comes to you by massivelyop.com, and it says that Riot Games-backed Afrofantasy MMO The Wagadu Chronicles just went live on Kickstarter. I really hope that I'm saying that right, so I do apologize if that is not the case. But I have to admit, this is pretty interesting because, again, a lot of the RPGs and MMOs that we've been getting has been set in the European and Asian medieval sort of time era. We haven't had a whole lot of games that really focuses on the cultures and inspiration of the continent of Africa. The only thing that I could really think of is Guild Wars Nightfall, which kind of centered around the Arabian sort of Egyptian look, theme, and feel, for example, but man, that was just years ago. Anyways, what's really cool is that they are explicitly calling it an MMO with clear emphasis on role-playing. Like, after reading this article, they really seem to emphasize that they really want you to role-play in this game, which, again, I don't have anything against.
Lightning ball! Lightning ball! Lightning ball! Lightning ball! Lightning ball!
Sleep!
Lightning ball! Lightning ball!
Sleep!
Lightning ball!
Some of it can get a little weird, but that's a story for another time. But at the end of the day, I really think role-playing is pretty awesome. It just kind of lets you be more immersed in the game, in its setting, in its lore and whatnot. But one thing that's really interesting is that they said, we intend to keep the safe space from harassment and trolls who want to disrupt other people's story and roleplay. That's just not how the internet works.
When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
I mean, you're making an MMO. I mean, it'd be really interesting how they are going to enforce that rule. I mean, again, I don't condone harassment of any type, but if you played games such as Terra Online, Black Desert Online, Drummond Cost Chat, and Star Wars The Old Republic, you're gonna get so much salt. But anyways. It does go on to say that the MMO itself is in pre-alpha state and that the Kickstarter is seeking $117,000 in US currency. I'll have a link to this down in the pinned comment section below if this is something that you're interested in helping to crowdfund. But, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I really hope nothing I said was overtly political, because if you look at the comment section, you bet there's a lot of politics with this one, so we'll just leave it at that.
Your actions have consequences.
And just really quick for all you EVE Online fans out there, you get the Rolling Thunder update that arrives today, and this is to help compensate for all the EVE players who might have felt a little let down by the performance of the EdenCon ships. Next, we got one article here from MMOculture.com, and they say that Mir 4, or including Miru 4, no 4, I gotta ask my cousin, do I use the or hang on. Pretend that. Miru's-ha, okay. I'm recording, I'm making my YouTube video right now. Say hi. You're not even in it. Okay. How was I supposed to know?
Because there's a number and it says 1 million.
But I don't know what total. Anyways, you go now. You go now. Bye. Anyways. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna say it the American way. Mir 4 mobile MMORPG sequel archives over 1 million pre-registrations in South Korea. I've actually never heard of this series, but it seems to be really popular over there. But then again, it is an MMO or MMO for the mobile platform, which I'm not a huge fan of if you've been watching this channel for a while. So let's just go ahead and move on. Next, let's go ahead and cover some of the articles from MMORPG.com. And the first one here says that Blizzard prepares us with changes arriving to the Shadowlands Pre-Patch. I've been talking to my co-host Sir Jaziel, whom I do a podcast with. I'll have a link to one of those episodes in the top right-hand corner if you're interested. And he speculates that the Pre-Patch will arrive next week on the 29th, I want to say? Sorry, 28th, not the 29th. And judging from this article, that seems to be the case, actually. Now, what I do appreciate about this article, that just kind of gives you the gist of what's going on, because apparently the blog post that I got it from is really lengthy. But first up, in terms of the character boosts, basically level 120 characters boosts will now boost you to level 50, which is the new level cap after Shadowlands releases. Also, in terms of Exile's Reach, you'll start your journey here if you're new to WoW, which is in my case. Also, lastly, time walking campaigns were also touched on, which basically allows content from certain locations to scale to your level. So I guess there's really no way of being super OP in the lobby areas, which, you know what, I actually don't mind. And to all you Lord of the Rings Online fans out there, or just Lord of the Ring fans in general, it does say that Lord of the Rings Online celebrates Bilbo's birthday and delays Harvestmath Festival? I don't know if those two are related, but just know that you are getting an event for Bilbo's birthday until tomorrow. But if you're looking forward to the new festival, I guess it's just gonna have to wait. So I guess I'm sorry for that.
Bilbo.
And next we head on back over to GameRant.com for just one article here, and it says that Final Fantasy VII Remake Xbox One reveal may have leaked early, but definitely take this with a grain of salt because we still haven't received any confirmation or acknowledgement through official channels. But basically what happened, Target was putting out an ad for Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it was under the wrong category. It was under Xbox One rather than the PlayStation 4. But it's safe to assume that this is something that Square Enix has been working on for a while, just because we know that Final Fantasy VII Remake is only a timed exclusive for a year since its release date. And this is just a quick reminder, we head on over to GameSpeed.com and it says that Genshin Impact is releasing next week on the 29th, and this game is for all you JRPG fans out there, such as myself, and it will be available for the PC, the mobile device, as well as the PlayStation 4. And as I said earlier, probably one of the worst kept secrets in the industry right now, but for this one article from GamesRadar.com, it says Mass Effect Legendary Edition is reportedly the name of the remastered trilogy. Again, take everything with a grain of salt because this is just rumors, nothing official has been released yet, but me personally, I'm sort of inclined to believe it. But unfortunately, it does say that it won't launch for the Nintendo Switch, so sorry for all you Nintendo Switch fans out there. I actually didn't realize how many rumors and speculations that I'd be covering in today's episode, so I do apologize for that. But next we head on back over to allchar.com, and it says that Elden Ring is currently in its final stages of development. Again, as I said before, take all of this with a grain of salt. But it does go on to read that according to a description over at IMDb Pro, From Software's long-awaited title Elden Ring is currently in post-production, which gives us hope that we may see some gameplay before the end of the year. And if you don't know anything about this game, really quick, the most fascinating part about this RPG is the fact that it's written in part by George R.R. Martin. Yes, the same George R.R. Martin that wrote Game of Thrones, and also this game is being developed by From Software, the same company that made Dark Souls and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Look, I get mechs aren't really popular as they once were, but man, I really wish they brought back the Armored Core series. Who's with me on that? And next we'll cover two articles from PCGamer.com. And the first one here, Destiny 2 Beyond Light trailer shows Europa old friends. And so this is kind of a sort of a sneak peek on their upcoming expansion that they'll be releasing. Even though I haven't really played this game, it seems like they are bringing back a few characters that you may have remembered if you played the first one. And it says that the first of the trailer's two narrators is Varkas the Loyal, a fallen ally from the first game. And we also hear Exo Stranger, who appeared throughout the first game's original campaign. I'm not exactly sure if that's a huge deal because I know nothing about the lore for the Destiny franchise, but let me know down in the comment section below why this is or isn't such a huge deal. And speaking of other looter shooters, the Division 2 is going free again this weekend, so if this is a game you always wanted to try out but didn't want to shell out the cash, well, you have your chance to do so until September 24th through the 28th. And with today's episode coming to a close, I really do hope that I've earned your subscription today. As I said earlier, I'm really close to getting partnered if I could get that subscription count up. And to those of you who already subscribe and watch my videos, thank you so much. Your support does not go unappreciated. Additional shout outs to Harlem Knight and Yo Cyrus for contributing and commenting and all that stuff. I do appreciate it. Anyways, everyone, I will finally let you guys go. I hope you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again, everyone.